Welcome to the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show. I'm Jeff DiVeronica with my co-host Steve Bradley. Our 20th year covering Section 5 sports. And Steve, we got a good interview here. Here's a coach actually who's been around longer than we have.
Right. I got out of high school and he started coaching. How's that work?
39th year with the Irondequoit program, 37 with the varsity, and Coach Cardon announced, actually today as we record this, that this will be his final season at the helm for the Eagles. And obviously, what a storied career, a state championship a few years back.
501 career wins.
He ranks, I think, fourth. No, he's the fifth. He might be able to get to fourth on the all-time list. He's fifth right now. But beyond that, the amount of student athletes and young men he has influenced at Irondequoit. His first varsity team had Dan Fichter, a guy named Dave Dents, local referee. I've learned a lot working at West Irondequoit and with the teams more closely than being a media member about the history of the program. And Coach Cardon's name is synonymous with Irondequoit basketball.
Absolutely. And he said it in the statement that the school released, too, that really they built something the community can be proud of. And a 2017 state championship team. And it's not just what's happened on the court, it's the way they've done it, too, where they've earned the respect of opponents, referees, and people across Section 5 in the state.
Truth be told, as the PR guy for the school district, I didn't know this was happening. So, it may have surprised a lot of people when we tweeted it out and put it on Facebook on Tuesday morning as we record this morning. Real happy to do it for him and give him a stage. But I know that also he's not about him, right? You don't coach for this long if you're just about himself. And I don't know. He doesn't want to let a lot of distractions this year. So I think a lot of the fanfare will be kept to a minimum. Don't be bringing any rocking chairs out when Coach Cardon and Irondequoit visits. So let's bring on Coach Cardon and his senior point guard, Ryan Heath. They both join us on our specialties Skype hotline. Welcome, gentlemen. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate it. At the bottom of the screen, there is a third-year full-time varsity starter. Ryan Heath came up as a freshman in sectionals and wowed a lot of people, including me that night in the gym. And there he is in his 37th and final season. Irondequoit opens the season at home on Friday night against Pittsford Sutherland and John Nally, his team. Coach, welcome back to the show. I guess let's start with the easy question. Why is it time for you to step aside?
Well, it takes a lot of time, energy to run a program. Summer league, fall leagues, lifting. We have year-round workouts in the mornings before school, camp. And I still have a passion to coach, but I think running a program for 37 years, and I've been coaching over 40 total, I don't know. I think it's time for someone else. I got good guys on our staff. I think they're going to be left in good hands. And, I'll still coach somewhere, maybe help somebody out at maybe a college level or something, and then maybe come back and volunteer. But coaching's in my blood. I have no hobbies. Don't play basketball anymore. Don't play softball anymore. And so I'll keep coaching somehow, or I'll stick with it. But I just felt it was the right time. I'm really close to this varsity group. We have a lot of seniors, and I'm really close with them. And I just thought it'd be a nice group to maybe go out with.
Ryan, how did you and your teammates react when? And I know Coach met with you before the announcement was made. How did you guys all react when he told you that this was going to be the swan song?
When I heard the news, I was really shocked, and because I thought he was gonna stay a little longer, 2-3 more years, But yeah, I was just really in shock. But I'm also amazed that he can stay until we graduate this year. So I'm just really happy to have him as the last team he goes out.
It's your third season as the guy with the ball in his hands a lot, and I know Coach is a demanding coach. What does he demand of his point guards, and is he tough on you guys?
No, he's not really tough on us. He just wants us to become the good players as we can be, and he just wants the best out of us. And as for me, as a point guard, he really makes sure I do the right things on and off the court and become that leader of the team.
Chris, Jeff alluded to it at the top, but we first saw Ryan as a freshman in the Section 5 playoffs, and he had a great game, and he caught people's attention. And you even said that by the time he was done, he could be one of the better point guards that come out of Irondequoit. Now that he's entering his senior season, what growth have you seen in his game, and what can people around Section 5 expect to see from him this season?
Well, I think he's really grown as a person and as a player. I think on the court, he's utilizing his teammates more. You know, a lot of people say pass first point guard. Well, I don't want necessarily Ryan to be a pass first, but he can score with anybody. He can pass it. He can really set up his teammates. So I think utilizing his teammates, because we have more depth this year and more, you know, we have a lot of experience. So I think he has a lot of trust in his teammates and, you know, taking care of the ball, playing good defense. And, you know, he's I don't like to rate the players or the point guards, but he's the most unique point guard we've ever had. I've had great point guards, but he's the most unique because he can do different things than maybe some of the other guys can. He can make he dunks. His shooting has really improved. Brian's really put in the work. He's stronger. And I'm really proud of his improvement so far.
Ryan, Coach just mentioned something that everybody loves to see. He says you're unique, but you can dunk. And how tall are you? And do you remember the first dunk that you had? And could you tell us about it?
Oh yeah, I'm currently right now 5'10". My first actual dunk was on my freshman year during the summer. I was like 5'8". Yeah, just really practicing.
Hit a ladder that day.
Yeah.
Ryan, what did you hear about it when you're a young guy? You're like playing for Coach Cardon. Is that something that kids talk about? Is that something you thought about? And did you wonder what you were going to get in the varsity coach? Or did you know he was like what he was like coming up?
Yeah. I was really I was like ever since I was like 7th grade, I was just really wanted to play for Coach Cardon. Like that was my dream, really, just to play at the high level, varsity level, of him coaching. Cause like he was like that's like the dream to play Coach Cardon. I've been like wishing for that ever since I was young.
So you've been around him for 3 years now. Is there a little like Chris Cardon, Coach Cardon voice in your head when you're maybe going to make a pass that you know you shouldn't or do something? Or does he have any little phrases that you can like say to yourself before he can even get the words out?
Oh yeah, I just like I really know like if I make a little mistake, I'm just knowing he's gonna get a little frustrated at me just a little bit. But you know, I just like I don't play too attention to that. You know, I just stay focused on the game and yeah.
You know what? My father-in-law had a phrase that I still remember to this day, and maybe Coach Cardon would want to borrow this sometime for a huddle if his guys aren't playing well. Without the head, the body's dead. That's what he said to me. Without the head, the body. So you got to be smart out there, right? You got to think your way around the game, not just wow with athleticism. You are you're a great athlete, Ryan. What's next for you? Who's recruiting you? Where do you want to go?
Really, my recruitment's wide open right now, but I'm really looking into Damon College right now, and other schools like Oswego, etc. More schools outside of like New York, really. But yeah, I'm just really.
I got one more question for Ryan before we cut him loose because we're actually taping this pretty late at night, and he's got class in the morning. Who do you like watching on the NBA or college? Is there a guard or something you like pattern your game after? You like to watch play, Ryan?
Yes, I really idolize my game around like Kyrie Irving and Ja Morant.
Thank you. You got 1 out of 2 right.
Yep.
I was gonna say Ja Morant, man. This guy is Ja Morant. Kyrie, there's enough other Kyrie stuff I don't want to talk about, but Ja Morant, you hitch your wagon to that young man. He is fun to watch play, and you're fun to watch that play too. We're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna cut Ryan loose and come back talk more a little deeper with Coach Cardon. Ryan, thanks a lot for joining us. Good luck this season.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Ryan Heath, senior point guard right here. We'll come back, take a break, come back, talk more with Chris Cardon right here on the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show.
Looking for a used truck? Can you find one out of 350? At BobJohnsonAutoGroup.com, you'll find one. Love SUVs? 800 are waiting for you to take one home at BobJohnsonAutoGroup.com. At 350 pre-owned sedans, and you've got a total of 1,500 used vehicles only at BobJohnsonAutoGroup.com.
Bob Johnson's got you right. Bob Johnson.
While we celebrate 140 years of serving our community, the kind of delicious joy that lasts a lifetime, we look forward to serving you for 140 more. With hardworking, wholehearted, passionate people who will help shape new memories for generations to come.
You don't choose to get hurt at work, but you can choose the workers' comp attorneys at Connors and Ferris to fight for your money and medical benefits you deserve.
With over 20 years of industry experience, we will give your case our undivided attention so that you and your family can focus on your recovery.
So call Connors and Ferris, the workers' comp attorneys dedicated to fighting for injured workers' rights.
Connors and Ferris, your workers' comp attorneys.
The best three things here at McQuaid are definitely the sports, the brotherhood, and the service to community. I think that's a really big, important thing that McQuaid stresses, which is part of creating a better and great man. You definitely feel a connection with your fellow students here. It's being all guy school. You're able to relate to each other on a personal level, and everyone's very welcoming here with open arms and willing to be your friend.
Local McDonald's operators care about our local schools, teams, and student athletes. That's why they support the return of high school athletics in the Rochester area and around the state. See you before or after the big game at McDonald's. Welcome back, Section 5. Game on!
Protecting your home's worth pays off when you trust the experienced team at American Custom. We've all seen our homes go up in value, making home improvements a wise choice. If you think your home is worth a lot now, just wait until our team is done with it. Call American today.
Welcome back to the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show. Jeff, DiVeronica, and Steve Bradley talking with Hall of Fame basketball coach, and I write that, Steve, because he's a New York State Basketball Coaches Association Hall of Famer. Chris Cardon joins us. He just announced he's retiring at the end of this season. And Coach, between the Walk of Fame and you are our All Greater Rochester Coach of the Year, when we did that for the entire sports season in 2018, 17-18 with the DNC. And you just were the Rochester Press Radio Club, a local Coach of the Year. I guess the coaches you looked up to were ones that influenced you when you were a kid or coming up as a young coach. Who were some of those people?
I would say like Bill O'Rourke, Jeff Fitch. Doug Childs was my mentor. He was my mentor. I coached at Arcadia. I learned a lot from Joe Drum, Don Brown, just a lot of the the older guys like Jeff Fitch. I'd go to his cottage, talk hoops. I'd meet with Don Brown in his apartment. Joe Drum, I worked under him, and then Doug, I had the opportunity to work with him at the JV level and learned a lot there. So I've had a lot of influences, believe me, and there's been more.
Chris, it's 2022. If 2022 Chris could write like 1980 Chris a note and tell him what to expect and give him some advice of things you've learned along the way, what would you say to yourself?
I would say that it's all about the relationships. I think in the first 20 years or whatever, you're really focused on winning and trying to get the guys ready. And I'm still focused on winning and getting the guys ready. But I don't think I took the time out to have the relationships that I've had the last 10 years with the guys. Now, I am retired the last 7 years, so I do have more time. But I think the relationships I've built with the guys in recent years have been strong ones. And I'm still tight with a lot of the guys from before. But I don't know. I was always looking to every day in practice do this. Now I try to take time out, talk to the guys, say, how's your day? we have like a circle at the end of a lot of practices where guys can say anything they want. How was your day? Anything you want, whether it's basketball or not. And I think that's a good way because I want them to know I care about them more than basketball players.
Well, I asked Ryan Heath in our first segment about this, a little bit about the team and himself, but I'm going to ask you about the squad. You got 2 returning starters, Ryan Heath and Xavier Gissendanner. But I know that you have high expectations for this group. Who are some other guys we should talk about or know about in regard to Irondequoit basketball this year?
Well, I have a senior, Kenyon Lovett. He was with us last year, played a little bit as a sophomore. He's really put in a lot of time. He's a 6'2" senior. I got Quinn Venkerhove. He was up as a sophomore last year, and his game has improved dramatically. I have Isaiah Ballard. He came last year. Bishop Kearney played JV last year. He's a guy in the middle that can, do a lot of stuff. Xavier Ross, quarterback off the football team. He comes off the bench. He's a real solid player. Aiden Greco, the lacrosse standout. Ryan Bowe, another guy that's, comes in. I have 10 seniors, and though we have about 3 guys banged up that are out, we've been scrimmaging with 9-10 guys, but we have a strong core, and these guys have played. We won the East High League. We've played, fall league, summer leagues. These guys have played a lot of basketball. And one thing about this team, this is one of the closest teams that we've had. They really care about each other.
Chris, you mentioned a couple of guys that play multiple sports. In this age of specialization, how much do you like to see that, players are doing different things rather than putting all their energy into one thing?
I think our best teams, Steve, have been when we had a mix. I do have some guys that play 2-3 sports. And then I have guys that just like Ryan just play basketball year round, Quinn and Kenyon. I think if you get a mix, if you get a team that have all 3 sport guys and basketball is their 3rd sport, I think it makes it challenging. But I like them competing in other sports. Like Xavier hadn't played football, since 8th grade at Kearney or wherever he was before that. And he played this year on the football team. So it was a good experience for him. And so I like them playing other sports. Now, if they don't play a sport, then basketball will be their fall sport or their spring sport. And if they're playing varsity sports, I don't really touch them. I don't let them do anything until we get them from, when that sport's done. So I think a good mix is healthy. I've had some teams that have all basketball, and sometimes they don't have that competitive edge that you get from, stopping a team on the goal line or, things like that. So, I think a good mix is good. Never told a kid not to play a sport, that's for sure.
Chris, I'm looking back. I did a little retrospective year by year, and not only is I thought this was cool that the last decade of your career so far, you've averaged 17.2 wins. That's easily the best stretch of 10 years you've had in your entire career. I'm not sure. You tell me, is there a reason for that? Is there a reason for why it's better now than it was before?
Well, my wife says because I'm retired and I spend every second with doing basketball at home. I just sit in my chair and do stuff all day. But we've had good talent. We've had good talent throughout the program. But I think I've been able to spend more time. Like we would do workouts, but I couldn't do them in the morning because I taught elementary phys ed and I had intramurals and I couldn't do it in the mornings. It would have been like at 5 or 5:30, it's just too early. So I since we've been doing the 6:45 workouts to 7:45 year round pretty much, and then we do it in the summer. So
what kind of turnout do you get for those?
Well,
how many?
It depends. Like Coach Trevis will work with the JVs and freshmen. I'll work with them a little bit, but mostly varsity guys. There's sometimes they get most of the guys. Now, if they're playing a sport, they can't come. I don't let them come. But I might have nine guys, not 10 guys, not playing a sport in the fall. I usually get 8 to 10 guys are usually here. Most of them come all 3 days that we work with the older kids. So I think we're doing. As I've gotten older, I put more time into it. We put more time in, and I think it's paid off. But we've also had talent. A guy like Ryan Heath, a blind man could coach Ryan. To be honest with you, he's got so much talent. Xavier and a lot of these guys have really a lot of talent. So I've been blessed. Now we hope to make them better, but I have been blessed with a lot of talent.
Chris, 37 years and you have a season in front of you, so there's an opportunity to have more memories and more great games and more things to take away. But as you look back before you look forward at this season, is there one game or one crazy memory that sticks out as like, I'll always remember this game or this shot or this play?
Yeah, that's a great question. The state championship semifinals, we're playing Buddy Boeheim. He's kicking our butt. In the second half, we made a couple adjustments and we won that game. That was pretty special. But I think of all the games, we won some sectional titles. We've done this. Of all the games, the year that my son passed on a Monday, we had the county tournament and we won the county tournament, the top bracket. And then we had the sectionals. And I think the second round we played East High at our place. We're the 1 seed. They're the 8 seed. But they have like 5 college players on their team. I had a really good team, but they had like 5 college players. And they were up. I mean, we pressed with about 2 minutes left down 10. And I don't know how, but we came back to win that game. They were playing really fast, even to the point where we had fouls to give and we're trying to foul them. And they're playing so fast we couldn't foul them. But then we got Gabe Marshall hit a shot with about 9 seconds left. And we called timeout. And then they took the ball out of bounds. And they passed it in. We fouled them after 2 seconds, passed in again, fouled them 3 more seconds. That was probably the thing that stands out because those guys really loved my son and they persevered. And we ended up getting beat the next game against Rush, a good Rush team in the semifinals. But that team gave us everything they could. And then obviously some of the county titles and the sectionals, the first sectional title with Nick Doctor and Josiah Heath. That was special.
2011, yep. By the way, for all you athletic directors out there, I want you to know that Chris Cardon coached 25 years before he won his first Section 5 title.
That's a great point because, I have some people come up to me and they'll say, Coach, I've been there. We have a coach that come up to me and our district coach, we've been there. We just can't get to the finals. I'm so frustrated. And I go, heck, you've been coaching 5 years. It took us, I don't know how many years to even get to Blue Cross. And then like you said, about 25 years to get a title. So, and then we always had great games with Athena, came up short, and then Josiah put us on his shoulders in 2011 and we beat them in the finals. And then we beat them a couple years
Hang on, let me just clarify that. Josiah Heath, number one, and the other clarification I want to make for all those Athena fans out there, including former coach Jim Johnson, you didn't just beat him in the finals, 61-38. Okay? Want that to be, all right? And by the way, while I'm looking at the stats, I just realized this. I hadn't realized this. My last 2 years at the Democrat Chronicle, you won the states, you won sectionals. I show up at Irondequoit, we got nothing yet. I got nothing yet. Can you send me out with a title, please?
Or just send them out, Chris.
Just send me out. No, kidding aside, it'd be really cool. I mean, I didn't get to cover I covered a lot of girls basketball because of Caitlin Howe at the DNC. Right. I didn't cover a lot of Irondequoit basketball games. Yeah, but I got to see you guys make a championship game and a couple semifinals since I've been there. So working.
One of the moms texted me today, and she goes, this is the 3rd son that you coach, and the other 2 went to the States. So it's, I guess,
no
a little
pressure.
Who is that? Who is that?
Quinn's mom. Quinn Baker's mom.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah, both brothers played. One brother played on the team that won, and the other brother played on the team that went to the semis. And actually, the team we lost to from Long Island, it was a really good game, nip and tuck all the way to the end. And then
Amityville.
Amityville, the finals, they beat the team by like 30 points.
Wow.
So, I mean, we might have been the second best team that year.
What are you going to miss? That's my final question, Steve Bradley. You got anything good? But what are you going to miss, do you think? I mean, you don't know yet, but what will you miss?
I already miss it. I'm already missing it. I'm going to miss the relationships. I'm going to miss the relationships with the kids. When I retired from teaching, people said, what do you miss? I miss the people that I work with, and I would miss the kids, but I have my kid fix right now, coaching year round and working with a lot of kids. We have over 100 kids come to our camp, and the relationships, and then just getting in the gym to practice. I just love going to practice. I just love it. And I still do. That's why I'm still going to coach in some aspect. It's just not going to be at the varsity level. I just feel that it's time for someone else to take over, someone, in the program, very deserving and has energy and all that. I still have a lot of energy, but, I do have my ailments. I have fibromyalgia and I do get migraines. So those things come into play, but I just love going to practice.
He's also famous, Jeff, for giving people nicknames. Over the years, if you've been in one of Chris's phys ed classes or you've played for him, he's probably given you a nickname. What's your favorite nickname you've ever given somebody?
My battery's going here pretty soon. Oh, I don't know. Neil Third Degree Burns I had. Some of them I can't say. I don't know. There's some I don't know. Most of them I probably can't say.
All right. Well, when you win sectionals, we'll get you back on, then we can revisit that. Okay.
Take my
deal.
Out.
Deal. It's a deal.
Thank you,
obviously,
guys.
Thanks for making the time for us. Congrats on calling your own shot, and hopefully it's a championship season. Even if it isn't, I know it's been a lifetime of memories you've created. Not only for your family, but for the Irondequoit sports family and for Section 5. So a lot of respect I saw on social media for you today, Coach. So and much respect from us too. So for my co-host Steve Bradley and our producer Joe Brown, I'm Jeff DiVeronica. Thank you, Chris Cardon, and thank you everybody for watching us right here on the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show.